Welcome back, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today, we have a thrilling topic to dive into that might just turn your spare change into a small fortune. If you've ever found yourself going through a collection of old coins, or perhaps have a few vintage nickels stashed away, then you'll want to stick around because we're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1963. You might think of it as just another old nickel, but believe it or not, this coin holds a secret that could make you a lot of money. Grab your magnifying glass and get ready to learn all about why the 1963 5-cent coin might be worth far more than you ever imagined. Let's set the scene and take a step back in time to 1963. The country was undergoing significant changes, politically and culturally. The United States was in the midst of the post-war era, and the world was about to experience some pretty big shifts. John F. Kennedy had recently been assassinated, and the nation was still reeling from that tragic event. On the economic front, the U.S. was prospering, with the American economy growing steadily, but inflation was also beginning to creep up, affecting the purchasing power of the dollar. In 1963, the U.S. Mint continued to produce its regular issue coins, including the 5-cent nickel. The nickel of this year features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, who has appeared on the obverse of the coin since 1938. Jefferson's image has become a staple in American coinage, symbolizing the ideals of democracy, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. On the reverse side of the coin, we find Monticello, Jefferson's estate in Virginia. Monticello has been featured on the reverse of the nickel for decades, and it stands as a symbol of Jefferson's legacy and the history of the United States. The detailed architecture of Monticello is depicted with fine engravings, which adds to the visual appeal and significance of the coin. So, what makes the 1963 nickel such a potential goldmine for collectors? Well, it all comes down to the coin's condition and rarity. While millions of these coins were minted, not all of them have survived in great shape. Many have been used for decades, passing through countless hands, and as a result, they show signs of wear and tear, scratches, discoloration, and dings. The vast majority of 1,963 nickels you find in circulation today are likely worn down and not worth much more than their face value of 5 cents. However, here's where things get interesting. Finding a 1963 nickel in mint condition, one that has never been used and is in pristine, uncirculated shape, can make all the difference. A nickel in this condition is extremely rare, and that rarity is what drives the value up significantly. If you happen to find a 1963 nickel that looks like it just came out of the mint, you could be holding on to a valuable piece of history, but there's more to it than just condition. Mint errors also play a key role in the value of a coin. A mint error occurs when there's a mistake during the production process. These errors could be anything from a coin being struck off-center, to doubled designs, to even missing elements on the coin. Mint errors are highly desirable among collectors because they make a coin unique and stand out from the rest of the pack. The rarer and more noticeable the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. For example, if your 1963 nickel has a minting flaw, perhaps an off-center strike or a doubling of Jefferson's image, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than its typical 5-cent value. Coins with minting errors are often considered collectibles because of their uniqueness, and they tend to fetch higher prices at auctions or from private buyers. If you come across a 1963 nickel with one of these rare minting errors, your coin could be a truly exceptional find. And now, we know you're waiting to hear just how much a 1963 nickel could be worth, and here's the exciting part. If you have a 1963 nickel in mint condition or one with a rare minting error, it could be worth as much as $48,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $48,000. This may sound too good to be true, but the market for rare coins is highly dynamic, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are in excellent condition or have a distinctive feature that makes them stand out. A 1963 nickel with no signs of wear or a minting error could fetch a hefty price, depending on its quality and rarity. So, if you happen to find a 1963 nickel in your collection or in a jar of spare change, don't just pass it by. Take a moment to examine it carefully. Is it in pristine, uncirculated condition? Does it have any unique features or minting flaws? If so, you might have a coin worth a lot more than 5 cents, and even if you don't find a 1963 nickel with a mint error or in perfect condition, it's still worth keeping an eye out for these older coins. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you never know when you'll stumble upon a valuable find. Coins that were once common and inexpensive can appreciate in value over time, especially if they're well preserved or have a unique history. That wraps up today's video on the 1963 United States 5-cent coin. We hope you're now inspired to take a closer look at your own collection or start hunting for these rare treasures in your spare change. Remember, a coin that looks ordinary on the surface could be hiding a fortune underneath. Top 2 today, we're diving into a coin that might just be lurking in your pocket change or an old jar of coins. Yes, we're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1990, better known as the nickel. But this isn't just any ordinary nickel. This one could be worth far more than you think. Stick around as we reveal just how valuable this small piece of history really is. Let's take a quick trip back to the year 1990. The world was experiencing a mix of change and stability. The US was in the midst of an economic boom, and the cultural landscape was defined by the rise of grunge music, the beginning of the World Wide Web, and the unforgettable era of early 90s television. But while pop culture was booming, the US Mint was busy at work producing millions of coins for everyday use, including the 1990 nickel. Little did anyone know that a simple, everyday coin would go on to become highly sought after by coin collectors around the world. The 1990 5-cent coin, just like its predecessors, features the classic design that has graced US nickels for decades. On the obverse, you'll find a profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, who played a significant role in shaping the country's early years. His image has been on the nickel since 1938, symbolizing the core values of freedom, democracy, and the birth of the nation. On the reverse side, we see Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia home, standing as a testament to his architectural genius and deep connection to the American landscape. At first glance, the 1990 nickel may seem like just another standard issue coin. After all, millions were minted that year, making it a common coin in circulation. But here's the catch: the value of the 1990 nickel doesn't necessarily lie in its design or its year of production. Instead, its true worth comes from its rarity and condition. As time passed, most of these 1990 nickels circulated through daily transactions. They were used to buy everything from a pack of gum to a cup of coffee. Over the years, these coins have experienced the wear and tear of regular use, scratches, discoloration, and other signs of age. But here's where things get interesting: while the majority of 1990 nickels are still circulating in worn-out condition, a small number of them have been carefully preserved in mint condition. Uncirculated coins, those that have never been used in circulation, are highly prized by collectors. These coins retain their original shine, sharp details, and lack of damage, making them incredibly valuable in the world of numismatics. A coin that's been well preserved is much rarer than one that's been through daily transactions, which is why uncirculated 1990 nickels have become a coveted item among collectors. But that's not all. In the world of coin collecting, there's another factor that can drastically increase a coin's value: mint errors. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, such as misaligned dies, double strikes, or off-center designs. These unique errors make certain coins one of a kind, and collectors go wild for them. A 1990 nickel with a mint error could be worth far more than a regular issue coin, making it a true treasure for anyone who happens to find one. Imagine you come across a 1990 nickel with a double-dyed or rare mint error where the coin features a doubled image. Or perhaps you find one with an off-center strike, where part of the design is missing or shifted to the edge of the coin. These kinds of errors are extremely rare and could dramatically increase the value of your 1990 nickel. And now, let's talk about the real kicker. Just how much could a 1995-cent coin be worth? If you happen to find a 1990 nickel that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare minting error, you could be holding onto a coin worth a staggering $45,000. Yes, that's right, $45000. It's hard to believe, but it's true. The market for rare coins is fascinating and ever changing, with certain coins reaching prices that leave many collectors in awe. An uncirculated 1990 nickel or one with a minting error can fetch astronomical prices in auctions and private sales. Coin collectors around the world are constantly on the lookout for these elusive treasures, and if you happen to find one, it could be your golden ticket to a small fortune. Before you rush off to dig through your change jar or scan your collection for that elusive nickel, remember that not every 1990 nickel will be worth this much. The value depends on its condition, rarity, and any potential minting errors. But if you happen to stumble upon one of these rarities, you could be sitting on a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. Coin collecting is a thrilling hobby because it's all about the hunt. With a little knowledge and patience, you never know when you might come across a coin that could change your financial future. And the best part is, you don't need to spend a fortune to start. You could find a valuable coin sitting right in front of you, just waiting to be discovered. That's all for today's video. We hope you've enjoyed learning about the fascinating world of the 1995-cent coin. Top 3. Well, today, we're diving into a fascinating and often overlooked coin that could be worth far more than its face value. We're talking about the United States 5-cent coin from 1994. This seemingly ordinary nickel might just hold the key to a small fortune, and today, we're going to tell you why. Let's take a trip back to 1994. The world was changing fast. In the United States, President Bill Clinton had just taken office, and the country was experiencing a period of economic growth and technological advancement. It was a time when the internet was beginning to shape the world as we know it, and the world's first websites were starting to make their mark. But while all of this was happening, there was one small yet significant event taking place in the U.S. Mint: the release of the 1994 5-cent coin, or the nickel. The 1994 nickel has the same design that we've seen on the 5-cent coin for decades. On the obverse, the coin features the familiar profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson is often celebrated for his role in shaping the nation and is best known for drafting the Declaration of Independence. His image on the nickel has become a symbol of American ideals such as liberty, democracy, and the pursuit of happiness. On the reverse side of the coin, we see an image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, which has been featured on the nickel since the design was first introduced in 1938. At first glance, the 1994 nickel may not seem all that special. After all, it was produced in large numbers, with millions of these coins being minted and circulated. But here's where things get interesting. While many 1994 nickels are still in circulation or have been in circulation for years, not all of them have withstood the test of time. Over the years, the majority of these coins have experienced wear and tear from being used in daily transactions. Scratches, discoloration, and other signs of use have diminished the value of most 1994 nickels. However, the key to unlocking the true worth of this coin lies in the condition. Finding a 1994 nickel in pristine, uncirculated condition is extremely rare. Coins that have never been used and are still in mint condition are highly sought after by collectors. The reason is simple: uncirculated coins are seen as a piece of history that has been perfectly preserved. These coins often show sharp details, original luster, and no signs of wear. Collectors value these coins for their pristine state and are willing to pay top dollar to add them to their collections. But that's not all. There's another factor that can drive up the value of the 1994 nickel: mint errors. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production process. These errors could range from misaligned dies, doubled images, off-center strikes, or even missing elements. Coins with mint errors are incredibly valuable because they are unique and cannot be reproduced. A 1994 nickel with a minting error could be worth significantly more than a regular one, making it a highly desirable piece for collectors. Imagine finding a 1994 nickel with a double die or an off-center strike. These types of minting errors are particularly rare and can cause the value of the coin to skyrocket. In fact, Coins with these kinds of defects are often sold at auctions for much higher prices than their standard counterparts. If you have one of these error coins, you may be holding onto a rare piece of numismatic history. So, how much could the 1994 5-cent coin be worth if you happen to find one in perfect condition or with a rare minting error? Well, if you've got an uncirculated 1994 nickel or one with a unique mint error, you could be looking at a coin worth an impressive $43,000. That's right, $43,000. It may sound unbelievable, but rare and well-preserved coins can fetch prices that leave many collectors and investors in awe. The market for rare coins is dynamic and ever-changing, with certain coins increasing in value as more collectors recognize their worth. A 1994 nickel in pristine condition or with a rare error is a true gem in the world of numismatics. Before you run off to check your spare change or rummage through your coin collection, let's take a moment to remember that not every 1994 nickel will be worth this much. The value depends on several factors, including the coin's condition, rarity, and any potential minting errors. But if you do happen to find one of these rare coins, it could be your ticket to a small fortune. Coin collecting is an exciting hobby, and it's always worth taking the time to examine your coins more closely. Whether you find a rare coin in your pocket change or you've inherited a collection from a family member, you could have a valuable piece of history waiting to be discovered. Coins like the 1994 nickel are a perfect example of how something small and seemingly ordinary can hold great value. That's all for today's video. We hope you learned something new and exciting about the 1994 5-cent coin. Top 4 today, we have a truly exciting topic that could turn your everyday pocket change into a small fortune. We're diving into the world of the United States 5-cent coin from 2001, commonly known as the nickel. This coin, though seemingly unremarkable, might just hold a hidden value that will blow your mind. So, sit tight and stay with us as we explore why the 2001 nickel could be worth far more than you might expect. Let's first take a step back to the year 2001. It was a pivotal year in both American and global history. The world was still adjusting to the new millennium, and there were significant changes happening on the political and technological front. The economy in the United States was experiencing the tail end of the 1990s economic boom, and people were still enjoying the growth and prosperity of the 90s. However, the tragic events of September 11, 2001, would later change the world forever, shifting the course of history. During this time, the U.S. Mint was still producing the classic Jefferson nickel that we are so familiar with today. The design of this coin has been around for decades, and while it has seen slight adjustments and changes over time, it still carries with it a rich history. On the obverse, the coin features the famous portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson's face is a symbol of the democratic ideals and values that have shaped this country since its founding. His legacy is celebrated through this coin, which has graced U.S. currency since 1938. On the reverse side of the coin, we see an image of Monticello, Jefferson's estate in Virginia, which is also featured as part of his original design. Monticello is not just a representation of Jefferson's home, it is a symbol of his influence on the nation's architecture, philosophy, and the early days of American independence. The detail on the reverse of this nickel is truly remarkable, showcasing the historical significance of both Jefferson and his iconic residence. While the 2001 nickel may seem like just another standard issue coin, there's something special about this year's release. The reality is, like many coins, a large number of these 2001 nickels went through the standard circulation process. They were used in everyday transactions, tossed into pockets, and spent in all kinds of places across the country. With time, most of these coins have experienced the inevitable wear and tear that comes with circulation. Scratches, discoloration, and other signs of use are common, making most 2001 nickels fairly ordinary in terms of value. However, what many people don't realize is that some 2001 nickels were never circulated. These coins, which were kept in perfect condition or stored away in collections, are incredibly valuable to collectors. A coin that's uncirculated or in mint condition is much rarer and significantly more valuable than one that has been used over time. Coins in mint condition are highly sought after by collectors who want to preserve a piece of history that remains in pristine form, but that's not all. In the world of coin collecting, mint errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin. Mint errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process, whether it's an off-center strike, a doubled image, or a mistake in the coin's design. These types of errors create unique and rare variations of a coin that collectors eagerly search for. So, if you happen to find a 2001 nickel with one of these mint errors, you could be holding onto something far more valuable than just a typical nickel. Imagine finding a 2001 nickel with a double die or an off-center strike. These are precisely the types of mint errors that can make a coin far more valuable and coveted among collectors. While these types of coins are rare, they do pop up from time to time, and when they do, they can fetch significant amounts in auctions and private sales. A mint error on a 2001 nickel could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity of the mistake. And now, let's talk about the value of this coin. While most 2001 nickels are worth just 5 cents, the ones in mint condition or with rare mint errors could fetch much higher prices. So, how much could a 2001 nickel be worth if you find one in pristine condition or with a rare mint error? If you're lucky enough to have an uncirculated 2001 nickel, or one with a unique error, you could be sitting on a coin worth an astounding $40,000. Yes, that's right, $40,000. It might seem unbelievable, but coins in excellent condition or with rare errors are highly desirable among collectors, and they can command impressive prices. In fact, this is one of the reasons why coin collecting is such an exciting and lucrative hobby. You never know when you might come across a coin that will bring you thousands of dollars. So, what's the takeaway here? If you've got any 2001 nickels lying around in your collection, or even tucked away in a jar somewhere, take a closer look at them. You could have an uncirculated gem on your hands, or perhaps you stumbled upon one with a rare mint error. Coins like these are more than just pocket change, they could be your ticket to a significant payday. Coin collecting is all about knowledge, patience, and a little bit of luck. If you're willing to put in the effort and pay attention to the details, you could discover a hidden treasure in your very own collection. So, next time you're sorting through your change or going through a stack of old coins, remember the potential of coins like the 2001 nickel. It might just be worth far more than you think. That's it for today's video. We hope you enjoyed learning about the value of the 2001 5-cent coin. If you want to discover more about rare and valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Thanks for tuning in, and happy collecting!